So, how do we get real world practical experience with DevSecOps? So, I think the best way is number one, getting on Snyk, and then number two, going to popular repositories or just repositories or clones of repositories or clones of famous applications and just pulling them into your Snyk and analyzing the vulnerabilities there. As you can see, I forked a copy of this popular repository called MedPlum. Don't have the original, I think, but you could go ahead and search it yourself. It's just called MedPlum. I just forked a copy and called it MedPlum DevSecOps. And I'm just going to be doing some analysis here and seeing what I can suggest to the team over there based on what I'm seeing in Snyk. Now, first things first is that when you're seeing these vulnerabilities here, don't be fooled into just, sending a bunch of them over to the team and a bunch of different PRs. Be mindful that a lot of these are false positives. This is an open source repository. They are conscious and aware of common pitfalls like hard coded security things and use of encoded passwords, things like that. So they're pretty keen on that. You can go through and analyze them, but don't send in a bunch of things that aren't really vulnerabilities. Now you can see password is saying use of hard coded passwords. This is obviously some type of demo. Once you look deeper into it, you can also see in the package it says examples. So when you're doing DevSecOps, it is good to go ahead and do your own analysis on where the package is, the context of the vulnerability, and understanding it from that angle. Not just, oh, I see a vulnerability in Snyk, or oh, I see a vulnerability here or there. I'm going to go ahead and flag it. No, it takes analysis. It takes, depth and context, and it takes actually reading through, learning the fix, especially when it comes to something like XSS or SQL injection. It takes a bit more reading and context to understand what's really going on there. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore this, personally, just to, this is a demo feature example. And I'm just going to go ahead and permanently ignore it. And I mean, I could go through and do this all day. You can see that a lot of it's the same. But, your job as a DevSecOps engineer or a security analyst or a security engineer is to go through and analyze these things for your company and show that, you are competent, number one, and you can go through and understand what's a vulnerability versus what's not, so that we're not wasting developer time at the end of the day. So that's number one way to get good with Snyk, and Snyk is pretty much industry standard, most popular tool when it comes to SAST and DevSecOps as of 2025. Another tool I'm checking out is this other one called Aikido, which is a competitor with Snyk, and they also have a very good interface, very good offering here, where they do a lot of the ignoring automatically. A lot of it is automatic for you. A lot of it is pre-analyzed by their AI, and it is I wouldn't say much different, but it does have a lot of different vulnerabilities than what Snyk was showing, and a lot are similar, so don't get me wrong there, but we can go ahead and look deeper into it. So again, I just have a few repositories in here. I'm just going to go to my MedPlum one again, and we can kind of just look and see, exposed secrets. And like we established in Snyk before, is that a lot of those exposed secrets aren't really secrets. So it takes your depth and analysis to go through and make sure that those are actual true positives. And also a lot of things with Azure, and a lot of things with GitHub Actions. Now, I didn't see the GitHub Actions things in Snyk. This is something that is unique to Aikido, and that's where one thing when it comes to DevSecOps is redundancy. Having multiple tools is always great, and better than having just um, you know, one tool, because you have that element of redundancy where you can affirm that this is being seen in multiple places, or you can also affirm that, hey, this tool grabs different things than the other one. And so you can analyze it and see, hey, I'm catching a vulnerability that wasn't seen in Snyk, and that covers a blind spot, and that can really help you out there. But the take back with that is that DevSecOps tools in an enterprise are extremely expensive. Like they're in the thousands of dollars, and there's no telling if the company has the budget for it. So that's something, you as an engineer need to kind of go and negotiate and show the benefits uh, to your higher ups, and just kind of say, look, we need redundancy, or it's better to just consolidate into one tool. Another tool I'm going to show you is SemGrep. Currently, it's not giving me the easiest time today. We're going to go ahead and reload it. But SemGrep is just another DevSecOps tool, which, like I said, you need redundancy, and it can really help and add to your repertoire of tools as you go through in DevSecOps. So a lot of people think it's mainly, working in the pipeline and working in, Azure DevOps, or GitHub Actions, and making pipelines there in the YAML code. But mainly, you will be working a lot with Snyk, a lot with tools with a UI interface that easily integrate with your tools, so it doesn't take a lot of using the YAML code from what I've seen so far. But will come with future videos kind of diving into YAML code and looking at what we can find there.